Oh my dog. Dog. Oh my dog.
Oh my dog, hey!
Oh my dog, hello.
It's Kara.
And Holly.
We're back.
Back again. What is that song?
Eminem. And Eminem is a new person now. He's no longer Slim Shady anymore.
What, he's doing the Garth Brooks?
He's starting
thing?
over. I don't know. I haven't really dove in, but
Guess
there was a
who's
whole...
back. Back again.
Not Slim Shady, because he's something else.
Okay.
But that's a great dog name.
Slim, make a note.
Writes down Slim Shady. That's freaking funny. If I got like a little scrawny ass dog,
You should name Shorty Slim.
he's not slim.
I believe you have an apology to make.
As someone, my name is Kara. It's spelled Kara. And for my whole life, I've been called Kara by every single human being who has possibly ever read my name. I have clients all over the country. They all call me Kara, and I just take it. I take it.
And she's had enough.
I've had enough, and I'm part of the problem. So one of our volunteers, whose name is Heaven, and I have been saying Haven for at least 3 to 4 shows now. I have been saying her name wrong. She's been giving us free services to help.
What a dick
She
move.
is a groomer, and she is amazing. And she finally texted me and was like, listen, I haven't had my Kara moment, and I'm like almost 40. So like she finally had her moment, and she was like, hey, it was the sweetest. It was like a very well formatted message, and it just said Kara, comma, next line. I love you. I love your podcast, but my name is Heaven, not Haven. And in that moment, I was like, wait, you mean like heaven, like up above? Like just making sure I was like understanding right. She's like, yes, like in the sky.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh shit, I'm a dick. I am so sorry. So I've done it. I've been wrong. Like I've got so many fingers and now I have 9 left. So I've been wrong one time ever and that was it.
Let's call MB on that one. Fact check.
Oh, I'm never wrong, especially at home.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So anyway, we really love all of our volunteers, and our volunteers who help us with grooming have changed so many lives, and Heaven
absolutely.
is one of them. And gosh
She's
darn
sent
it.
from above. That's how I remember it.
Well, I messed it up. I corrected you in the wrong way. You said Heaven, and I was like, I think it's Haven. And you're like, okay, you know best because you're never wrong. And I was very wrong, so I'm so sorry. Okay. You have an update to share with the world.
Morty has been adopted.
We didn't even get him an eye patch or nothing.
I know. I did tell the adopters about that, though, and they thought it was a great idea.
I think it's hilarious, and he needs a tiny eye patch.
So these people were from up by the Algona area, West Bend. So a good, like, 2.5 hours
That's a hot shot
away.
for a one-eyed wonder.
And they were literally the second application that I ever received for Morty.
So you scrambled. You sent him a gift basket, and then came down.
Oh, man. But they turned out to be the sweetest people, and they rescue cats. I don't know how we all feel about cats around here, but they've rescued cats. So their only concern was how he was with cats.
He's gonna tell their fortune. That's it.
And I have a garage cat, so I don't really
You threw him out there, and you're like, get it together.
And he would chase the chickens occasionally, but with one eye, he kind of missed the mark several times.
The cluck perception is off.
But he is settling in great. He doesn't give 2 hoots about those cats. And
nice.
their cats are like, they're not petite. They're bigger than Morty is.
Right.
So
because Morty's little. He's
she
just a
sent me this
chihuahua.
picture of this baby lion laying on top of this cat table, and Morty's walking past the cat, and the cat's just looking down at it like, the fuck are you? So so happy. I'm so glad. I was a little nervous, but I think he's found found the spot.
Well, when you said if he doesn't go, he can stay, and I knew he's actually probably halfway decent because she don't say that very often.
No, he was a great kid.
I'm much
but
weaker.
I didn't cry when he left.
Well, no, we don't anymore.
I haven't done that in a while. We're dead inside completely.
Completely deceased.
We do have another announcement that we regretfully need to make.
And positively, we had a roller
Oh, it's
coaster.
good and bad and good. It's just annoying mostly.
So, we've been talking about our beloved black dogs, and finally, Gumbo had a home. We cheered, we hurrahed, I shared the picture, the world united in, happiness for this dog, and then 24 hours later, mother fluffer,
Gumbo's back.
he came back.
Back again.
Barking up a storm and he was barking. So the guy got him, and then I'm pretty sure got him that night, like a Sunday night, got him, and then went to work all day and just left him at home. So what did he do?
Barked.
He barked. It was his first time away from his foster home. He was scared. He was the only dog in the house. He didn't know what to do. So he barked, and I think it was an apartment or a townhome or something.
It had to be an apartment.
It shared a wall. Yeah. And so they said, dude, you can't have a barking dog in the thing. So we said, okay, cool.
Because his neighbors worked night shift.
Yeah. So,
and that was the real rub.
Right, true. And but we said, hey, cool, we get it. She's freaked out. She needs some time to decompress. We will pay for you to take this dog to doggy daycare. I researched a doggy daycare in his city, and I was like, we'll pay for it. I've got it figured out. I can get it scheduled for you. What do you need?
Right. Just give her some time to adjust to your situation.
Nope.
No.
I'm bringing her back. Bringing her back tomorrow. I'm done. It's not happening. Blah, 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 blah.
It was kind of weird, though, because he was so excited. He came
was
and met
jazzed. He
her,
brought his grandson.
and then he came back days later to get her and got all the stuff for the dog.
He spent so
and
much
everything.
time preparing for her to come, and then when she came, he spent zero time helping her settle
adjust. So 333, once again, let's plug that.
Yep.
3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. They just need time to adjust, need time to settle in.
Yeah.
They're in a completely new environment, a new home, new people, new schedule, new water bowl, new couch, new everything.
Yeah.
Let them...
They're going to be assholes
check
for a minute.
things out.
It's dumb. Well, and that continues to be our most shared episode, and I think it's because we assumed that this was common knowledge, but it's not.
I don't assume anything is common knowledge anymore, to be honest with you.
It's true. We've got two little...
Dogs or otherwise.
I know. We've got two little education bubbles today that we're going to talk about that... I said, I don't know if we even need to talk about that. Is it common knowledge? But there was a moment where it wasn't common knowledge for Holly or I, and we have to remind ourselves that not everyone has spent their majority of their lives trying to rescue dogs.
Right.
So,
a little PSA here for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, share the other half of the gumbo.
Yeah. So that's the bottom of the roller coaster. We're down in the swamp.
But it gets roller coaster. Go ahead.
But it gets better. Roller coaster's up. And Gumbo, actually, we shared and we said, the heck. She got adopted, didn't mean anything. Well, apparently that was the boost we needed because we got multiple applications and we ended up finding what has been just the best place for her. And so she has been adopted again. So let's cheer again and hope it means something.
It's got to stick this time.
Oh, my lands. So she has been adopted back out, and we are really hopeful that she's going to be cool. The people that took her actually met more than one of our adoptable dogs to actually make a decision that for the dog that would be best for them.
Yeah, she interviewed Padlock too.
Yep. So they went, to two cities very far apart, like an hour apart, and met two different dogs. And so I feel confident that they did their deal.
We had a lady do that once with Gar and Crash. And she ended up adopting them both, remember?
Yes! They might still be with us, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we each had dogs, and she was like, I'm interested in, both of these dogs. I'm like, okay, well, Holly lives in Madrid, and I live in Urbandale. You're going to have to go both.
And she was from, Iowa City area, yeah.
Iowa City. She stopped, I think, at
my place first.
Your house first.
And then she went to your place, and then she came back to my place to get Crash.
She took them both.
She took them both.
They're still happy.
They weren't litter mates.
No. Nor were they bonded pair. I think they were just two random dogs that were kind of similar.
Crash that dog. Wow. There are wires crossed on that one.
Yeah, he ain't right.
Okay, so into our PSA then. I was driving on the way here, and it is hot today. It is humid.
Very warm.
We are going full into Iowa summer weather. And I think, again, you would assume this is common knowledge. We hear it on the news all the time, but just be careful with your dogs in this hot weather. If you're taking them for a walk, we were driving on the way to the studio, and we saw, a couple walking. They're two very small, looked like little Bichons or
little Maltese things.
Maltese.
Yeah.
Little white dogs. I mean, small dogs
On
on the pavement
asphalt.
when there's grass and sidewalk right next to them. I didn't get that at
was
all.
Weird.
But anyway, when it's this hot outside, the pavement and the blacktop gets astronomically
Very hot.
hotter. And if you think about those little paw pads on that hot asphalt all the time, just continuously, it can quickly burn and become a really painful, long healing issue.
Well, and I shared a story. Holly called me while we were driving our 1 block commute here, and
Well, it pissed me off.
and I said, actually, I did that once. So I was watching a girlfriend's little dog, and I lived in an apartment which gracefully had a wonderful little dog park. So I took my dogs and her dog, what is maybe 2 blocks through some sidewalks and driveways and parking lots to this dog park for them to run around. And when we got there, her dog just was like, I'm not going to run. I'm like, that's weird. Didn't realize why. We walked back home. He walked fine, no big deal. And then he laid down and he flipped his paw back at me, and he had lost the skin on his paw pads.
Yeah.
2 blocks on some asphalt.
Yeah.
And it was hot, but it was not that hot. But it had burned his paw pads.
Well, my mom posted this picture, which is what made me think about talking about this today. It says that if the air temp is 77 degrees, asphalt is 125. At 87 degree air temp, which on the way here it was 91 in my car. At 87, the asphalt temp is 143 degrees.
Yeah.
So even if those numbers are off by 20 degrees, I don't care.
Still.
It's still very hot. So the best way to test this is if you lay the back of your hand on the sidewalk or on the pavement, on the asphalt. If you can't hold it there for more than 3-4 seconds without it hurting.
Yeah. If you don't want to walk barefoot,
If you don't
they
want to
don't
walk
either.
barefoot, they don't either. Yeah.
And then,
similar to that,
yes.
Dallas, my German Shepherd, Aaron's German Shepherd, we had him at home, and Mom had come up to, I don't know, do something. She was on the 4-wheeler, and he wanted to go with her when she left, and so she took him with, and he was just running alongside on the gravel, and it's middle of summer, and it just ripped all of his bottom of his pads off. She felt so bad.
Yeah.
She felt terrible. But so even gravel can get very hot as well, and especially if they're running continuously, that contact can be very painful.
And of course, cars too.
Right. So I get locked out of my vehicle by Reese every single time she goes with me. Every single time.
Because she wants to know where that mama went.
She turns my mirrors in. She adjusts the seats. She rolls the windows down. So I started, obviously, just putting the window down enough that I can reach in if I need to, if she locks me out, which I always do. But before that, they had locked me out, and the car was running, but they were locked inside, and I couldn't get to them. So just be prepared for that. If you have remote start on your vehicle, know that I have older vehicles. I don't know if everybody's vehicle does this, but my vehicle times out after 10 minutes. It'll shut off. So if you go into a store, doing the remote start thing is only going to be good for so long.
True.
Window breakers. You can get those on your keychain now, where you can break a window if you need to. If you need to get into them, something should happen. What was it last year that police officer in Boone? Yeah.
Forgot his dog.
Forgot his service dog in the cop car, and it died.
Which, first of all,
that's a whole nother.
It's quite literally your job, sir. But okay.
So anyway, be prepared for lockouts.
Yeah.
Don't leave your dogs in the car. Don't leave your kids in the car either.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
hot weather PSA.
What have we been up to? A lot.
Holy cow.
Yoo-hoo.
It seems like these 2 weeks just fly by.
Yeah, and like no time at
I'm
all,
like-
but also a lot of stuff happens.
It's been 2 weeks already. So we had 14 intakes, including one that Cam picked up, Kara's daughter picked up just this
Tonight.
evening.
Yeah. So I got a text message from one of the workers out at Paws and Pints, and she had a connection to a dog who was in an outdoor run with no food, no water, and was severely underweight and very infested with fleas. And she said that they had called her and said, you can come get the dog. So then she's like, oh, what do I do? I'll give it to that crazy lady who comes out to the dog park all the time. So she texted me, which I'm very thankful that she did, and I was on my way here, so I called Cam, and I was like, on to your first rescue mission, my child, and off she went. And she picked him up. He is a little, when they bought him or got him, they thought he was a white German Shepherd, but he is a year old now and is very underweight and is probably only about 20 pounds.
And he's like a yellowish.
Yeah, he was. Well, I think that might be from like Yuck, but he started out like Snow White, and now he's
Yeah.
kind of like more of a golden yellowy color.
Like a little Eskimo.
Yeah, TBD if that's like his color or what's going on. We'll get some pictures posted, of course, right away. But yeah, so that one came in just now, hot off the press. But we've also
A couple
had
others.
Yeah,
Okay. But do you want to tell your shorty
Shoddy. Hey, Shoddy.
story now?
It's your birthday.
This is gonna
Okay,
put
yeah.
me
So in the next episode, so this episode, in 1 week from when this one comes out, we are going to be chatting with Shelly from Calhoun County, who runs the Calhoun County Canine Shelter, has been doing so for about 25 years. And that's where I grew up. And she called or texted me or sent us a message and was like, hey, there's like a wiener dog that got found nearby your house, literally like a half mile from my house. And it was adopted out from my shelter like 4 years ago, and somebody just found it and took it to Blue Pearl, had it scanned, and they couldn't get a hold of the owner, so they called me, which is why we switched our microchips to these new microchips that always come back to us for life. But anyway, they called her. She got online because she couldn't get a hold of the person who adopted, and the wiener dog's dad had passed away 2 weeks ago.
But they didn't live in Des Moines.
Nowhere near Des Moines.
Right.
No one knows how or why this dog was just wandering about in the dog patch neighborhood of Des Moines, but it was. And it came up to this really sweet woman's house, and her neighbor caught him, and he is a 32-pound fat ween. Just like we like them.
So I was following the story in the group chat up to this point. And then
Shelly cut off, and she sent me the message of where I should go pick up this dog.
it obviously went offline because the next time I got an update is from Kara. Just the other night you called to give me the update. And I thought that the story was pretty good already. I mean, that's
pretty magic. Like, it happened. She had a connection that was right there. Why was this dog there? Nobody knows. We have not gotten a hold of any family members. We have no clue why this dog was right by my house, but it was.
okay. Give me the bedazzled ending.
Because I know for a fact this woman who I picked up the dog from is not listening to any podcasts. I get there. Well, first of all, the number got transposed when it was given to me. So I was driving.
Address?
Yeah, the address. So I was driving up and down this very short. It was a dead end street. There was these people sitting out in lawn chairs watching me. I had gone by now like 5 times, and finally I was like, all right, I gotta call this lady. So I called her and I was like, hey, I am so close to your address, but every time I get to where I think it's gonna be, the street ends, and so I don't know what to do. And she goes, okay, well, I'll stand outside. I'm like, cool. It's a short street. Like, I'll come back up. And so she is out in her yard in a moo-moo, ankle length, and she waves me down. So I pull in and, leave the engine running. I'm just coming here to pick up a wiener dog. Like, what could I possibly have to do inside of this residence? I have an hour of things to do inside of this residence because I go in and she's just really sweet. And I notice that around the rims of her glasses, there's a single line of crystals going all the way around. They're bedazzled. I'm like, well, that's unique. I've never seen a pair of bedazzled glasses. That's super cute, So I get into the house, and it is it's fine.
Odorous.
It smelled like pee, which older people with dogs, that sometimes happens. It is what it is. And there's these racks and racks of clothing, and then there's these like rolls and rolls of
Bedazzle
gems. And I come to figure out, after being inside of this urine home for an hour, that she's spending her waking hours bedazzling every living thing or unliving thing on the planet.
just propping up that bedazzling stock market.
They're on rolls. So she's it was like a wooden block with like a tube that goes through, and then rolls of different colors of gems that she's just bedazzling everything with.
Incredible.
I was there so long, she could have made me a cool bedazzled phone case. I didn't think about it until now, and that would have been cool. I would have taken in that. But anyhow, she had 2 little dogs that were very well taken care of, wonderfully groomed. They were peeing all over her house, and she couldn't smell it anymore, and it is what it is. But Fat Ween the whole time was just sitting there looking at me like,
Get me out of here.
could we leave? I'm worried she's going to bedazzle me. Like, we've got to go.
So you picked
So I picked him up. I had to double arm him like if you're picking up like what's it called, like a thing of wood, like a
cord of wood.
A cord of wood. Like if you're picking up like a rack of wood or a cord of wood, and you have to double arm it because it's real heavy and long.
Right.
That's what I was doing with the Ween. So I double armed him and I lifted him up. And this is a full size dachshund. He's huge.
And this is like to indicate to the woman,
I gotta go.
it's time to wrap it up.
Let's stop talking about absolutely nothing. I don't care. The Iowa goodbye was happening.
Oh, the Midwest goodbye.
Yeah, the Midwest goodbye. From the time I walked in,
Sure.
I was saying goodbye from the time I saw her in her moo-moo, and it just kept going for a full hour. So I double scoop up the Ween, and I then am standing there, and I'm beginning to struggle. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since I've been in a gym, obviously. And so I'm like shaking, and it's very hot out, and I'm standing by this glass door. The sun is coming inside. I'm sweating. And Shawty, the wiener dog, is just like,
Oh my God.
looking at me, and he doesn't give a hoot about anything, but also is like, can we go?
Right.
And so finally I just kind of like push my way out the door. She's like, I'll walk out with you. Well, this is a
boy.
person who is not getting along very well. So the walk from her front door to my car in her driveway was at least another 10 minutes.
Oh,
because I had to wait for the time. And then, oh my God.
Sounds like she's kind of lonely.
I think so. Yeah.
She was super nice to do this, though. I mean, she could have
She kept the dog overnight. She reported that he was potty trained and that he slept well in bed and all of the things. She kept him overnight while we figured out what to do, and then I went and got him right away after work.
I wonder if we could Google Lens him and see if like somebody posted him or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
so where did this guy live? The guy that died?
Oh.
Do we know?
Yes, but I've forgotten. It's a really small town, far enough away that it makes no sense.
Like an hour away, 2
Yeah,
hours away?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like this fat ween walked there.
And Shelly, she looked up his obituary, and she found the siblings and tried to reach out to his family and siblings, and crickets.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
So anyway,
Have a plan for your pets when you die, people.
plan for pets.
So hold on here. Had you ever seen a wiener that big before?
Only
Oh
in
my God.
college.
and you've never seen one bedazzled,
Never a bedazzled ween.
and you weren't sore after.
Don't lie.
they're
You
in
have a
the wiener?
bedazzled ween.
I probably do. I have to look through my collection. Oh my gosh.
So this drops us into the very important act of microchipping.
Yes. So how magical is it that I have this connection to Shelly, who is all the way in Calhoun County, and she gets this call, and then she looks up and finds out that the owner died, and then she realizes, oh, we've got to figure this out. And the lovely lady who
And that the dog's a half a mile from you. I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah. So the fact that all of that happened was only because he was microchipped.
Right.
And he's an 11-year-old dog. So had he landed anywhere else, we don't know what would have happened. But instead, I have a family coming to meet him tomorrow at 6:00 who are so freaking jazzed. Cam
They
met
love
them.
fat weens too.
It's a popular thing, you know. And Cam works out at Paws and Pints, as we talked about, but she had a couple that came in and were talking about how they wanted another wiener dog, you know, and she's like, my mom's got one at a rescue. And it wasn't this one, it was another one who was a little spicy, you know, and so I ran into them on Saturday, and I said, yeah, obviously, and I said, well, actually, I've got one that would be even better. So
Perfect.
I have to imagine they're going to fall in love tomorrow.
Love that.
Yeah.
So we used to, well, we've gone through a couple different types of microchips.
Yes.
And we put on a microchip clinic in Madrid last December, I think it was. It was cold. I know that.
I got into an accident on the way.
That's right. That wasn't your fault either.
No, it wasn't. It's never my fault. Like I said, I'm never wrong.
When we did the microchip clinic, we got microchips in bulk.
Yeah.
And they're great. They work. It's fine. But we do use the Fi.
I'm not going to correct you on pronunciation today. I don't know.
Well, it's Fi or Fi. It's the tracking company.
Yeah.
The
Nano.
like
so
Nano.
it's like Fi Nano chips is what this is. Yeah.
And the chips are, when they sell them to us, they are registered to Oh My Dog Rescue
Automatically and for life.
and forever.
Yeah.
And then they come with this really awesome card in the packet with this needle and microchip, and the adoptive family just follows the instructions,
It's a
or they
QR
can
code.
scan the QR code.
Yeah.
And then we get an email saying, do you approve that this gets transferred over to them?
And I've actually had somebody accidentally try and register one of the chips that was not for one of our dogs. Like they dumbed in the number or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I do check them all, like before I
Well, of
transfer
course.
it over. But but it works really well.
And it's a slick email to approve too. Thank you. You just push yes.
It's
and
a
that's it.
yes. Like, yep.
Done.
Beautiful.
So we have gone exclusively with Fi Nano.
Yeah. And I'll link
Whatever.
those in case anybody is interested, because they also have GPS collars.
So I have the GPS collar for Stanley because he's a little adventurer.
He is.
Those
He likes
short
to
little legs
do stuff.
Can go a long way. And the great thing about the collars is that they run off a GPS or off a satellite.
Yeah.
So like your cell phone, like a cellular
Right.
situation.
I mean, they're expendy, but
It's $100 a year
yeah.
to have this service. I probably should cancel that, but no, I don't think I will. I think I'll just, because he kept going down to this pond.
You got to, if you're taking him off to
Yeah.
the.
Anyway, it's
Oasis.
$100 a year, and there's an app on your phone, and you can set perimeters, and when they leave the perimeter, it alerts you on your phone, and once they get outside of the perimeter, it tracks them and shows you exactly how they got to where they're at and all that stuff. So it's very slick, very cool. Highly recommend to get that.
And the other nice thing is, too, the reason I ever started using them is in the beginning, we had never really microchipped dogs in our previous experience rescuing, but we both felt really passionately about that. We needed to start doing that. So we weren't sure where to get them or how to do this. So I just Googled, and I found out that this company, actually, they will donate the first box of chips if you buy chips. And I was like, cool. They come in like packs of 20. And now I have also found out, and they never said this to me, I didn't know this was a thing, but everybody who registers the microchip, so all of these dogs that we're adopting out, everyone who registers a microchip, it gives us a credit for another free microchip. So then they send us free ones later. So oddly enough, not a lot of people register them, which is dumb to me, but
Another one of those common sense things.
register your microchips. We give you the tool. We pay for the tool. You're paying for it as a part of your adoption fee.
Right.
Like, register the microchip. But regardless, we don't care because we want it to it's registered to us,
Which is why we moved
changed.
back to them, because the ones that we did for the microchip clinic are not that way.
No,
but we
they're
sent
cheaper
home instructions
on how to do
very
it.
specific instructions on how to register.
But we don't
your
know
pet,
how many
all that
people
stuff.
registered.
Right. Well,
So it's
We
good.
can only do so much.
It's true. And dogs go missing, and it is the only way that if your dog goes missing and you don't see it or no one reports it on social media or that happens to come across,
Right.
like it's the only way you're going to get your dog back. Like,
Right.
why would you not do that?
Well, even if you have a tracking collar, I mean, they can slip those off, or somebody can take the tracking
Yep.
collar off and ditch it.
Yep.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we firsthand experience dogs on the run, dogs on the loose, and dogs that get away from us.
Yeah.
And so there's other tracking, Apple AirTags. We use those all the time now
Yep.
with dogs that we feel are
A
high
flight risk.
And sometimes we'll even send them home with people. We got these.
Yep.
I got them for all of my dogs,
Yeah.
and you can get these cute little things that it
Goes right on their collar.
right on their collar. Their collar feeds through it,
Yep.
so it's very secure, waterproof, the whole bit.
Yep.
And then I just set up a reminder for a year from now to check the batteries, and Apple will tell you. when they're
Actually,
low.
yeah, Apple tells you when the battery is low.
Yeah.
I only have an AirTag for Juji, and he is one of my pugs who is very attached to his mama, but when he sees freedom, he'll take it. Like, I dropped his leash one time leaving Paws and Pints, and he was like running amok, and I'm like, holy crap, he's gonna go out to the highway, like this is gonna be terrible. I said, Cam, pretend like we're going into the park again. And so we're like, come on everybody, let's go. And we went, and he was like, oh, I want to do that, that's way more fun. So he just followed us back in there, but he has an AirTag because he has gone missing, or not
It's
missing,
a little independent.
he has just shot off loose one too many times for my liking. He's never gone missing, but makes me nervous.
My Stanley has a rabbit that my mom got him in Christmas of 2018.
Like an actual dog toy, not a human rabbit
right,
toy.
right. I'm sorry. It's
Or
a dog
like
toy.
an
It's a
actual
squeaker,
toy.
a little squeaky toy. It was his first toy because he came to our house in November of 18. We adopted him shortly
Yeah.
after, and so this is his first Christmas. So mom got him this, and he takes it everywhere.
I've never seen a dog love a toy more.
Everywhere. He takes it to bed. He brings it to you when you come home. He takes it out in the yard with him. This thing goes everywhere. And if you forget it, oh my God, heaven forbid you go somewhere and forget it. So we lost it one time. It got lost. It was misplaced for like 3 days. And
Yeah.
it was miserable.
Yeah.
He was so melancholy. He just was depressed
Aw.
and sad. He wouldn't do anything. Wouldn't eat, nothing. So I put an AirTag in the head of this toy. So it's never going to be lost.
Which is genius and hilarious. And
I keep trying to find another one just like it,
I know what the brand is. I've literally seen them before, but I can't.
I've never found it.
Yeah.
Not once. You should see when I wash it too. Holy cow.
He waits.
So that's another way to track a dog, microchip a dog.
It is, but you should always microchip your pets.
And Kara is the queen of injections.
I like doing it.
Weirdo.
I know.
I refused to do it at first, but I've gotten over that because I had to, and now it's not so bad. But much prefer they come chipped already by you, or I send it with the foster family when they go to the vet.
Yeah. Well, in the folks that are fostering in the Des Moines area, I have just started leaving boxes of chips at the vet's office, and then
Yeah.
they do it there, and it works really well. But
So microchip your pets. We're going to have another microchip clinic in Madrid this summer.
Yes.
So watch our Facebook page for that. Date has not been, picked or confirmed or anything like that yet.
we'll
but we will.
advertise it though, and
And
you
we'd
can
love to
come
do
over.
one in the big city too.
Yeah. Why not?
Like a drive-through car wash, but drive-through microchipping.
Oh yeah, I've microchipped a dog or 3 through a car window. It's not hard. I
No.
can do it. So anyway, we just want to keep your pets safe and coming back to you. And if for some reason they don't, at least they'll come back to the rescue who will take care of them.
Well, and I guess we should say that too. If you find a lost dog, call your local police department. I know Madrid PD has a chip scanner. I have one in my car
I
at
have
all
two.
times.
Yeah.
I know our foster in Madrid also has one. So they're cheap. You can get them off Amazon for like $30.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah.
But of course, all your shelters and Humane Societies, ARL, all that
And your
stuff.
vet's office. Yeah.
And your
they all
vet's
have
office,
them.
they're all going to have them.
Yeah.
So just take any found dogs to any of those people, and hopefully
They registered
the chip.
if it's even in there. So yeah. Yes. Well, what else we've had? Well, besides the one that Cam went to go pick up just a little bit ago and is now flea bathing at
Has she
home.
named it yet?
No, but she did text me and she said, "I'm naming this dog because I did rescue it."
That's true. She
said,
gets
"Go
those
ahead."
rights.
Go ahead. So, besides that, we've had 13 others. Raven, who is another wiener dog who is going home, I think, very soon, had a lot of those. I'm telling you, the people like the weens. They went quickly. Mateo, who was a senior, 14 years old. His mama, Mateo and Kiefer, their mom had a stroke and she couldn't care for them anymore. And
Didn't Mateo get adopted?
yeah.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yes, but he
On
was
the,
oh yeah, it was
on the
because it was
worksheet.
orange. I don't know. I don't
That's
have all
all
the
right.
stuff in there. But Mateo was 14, very sweet little white floofy thing, and they actually flew them to Iowa from Florida. The sister then. No, not to Iowa, to Kansas. The sister then transported them from Kansas to Iowa, where she lives, and then contacted us. And so these dogs have taken a long trip to find a safe place, and we are very thankful that we actually have had very wonderful luck in finding adopters for elderly dogs.
Yeah, his adoption date's 5/4.
'Cause
It's
it messed it up.
6/4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it didn't, because I filtered it. That's why. Us and worksheets, man. I'm telling you what.
We do pretty good, but sometimes my number dyslexia gets ahead of me.
Okay.
Okay. And then
So
of course,
then add one to that adoption number. Anyway,
Nice.
Go ahead.
okay, well, do it. And then, of course, Cleo, aka Gumbo, was adopted, returned, adopted, so whatever. So she did come back. Beulah and Old Yeller were two older labs who had not seen the vet in a very long time. They both needed dentals, which is weird because they're labs, and that's kind of odd at that, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I got the background story on those dogs after the fact, and had I known, we wouldn't have never helped.
Well, I know they bred them, and they sold
Yep.
puppies for a while.
then now she's tired of it
She
and-
can't do it anymore. I agree that after I took them, I'm glad I saved these dogs, that we saved these dogs, and that I went to go pick them up, and it happened, but I was annoyed.
Very.
But
Karma.
Beulah has had 300 applications. She's for some reason, I'm like, she's just like this like sad looking brown lab, chocolate lab, but like she's had a lot of applications. The other one's named Old Yeller, which we're not going to shoot him, but you could adopt him, and he needs some applications. Reggie came from, on our next episode, you'll meet Shelly, Calhoun County Canine Shelter. They had an overflow, and she was at risk of having to euthanize for space, and so said, hey, can you help? I've got this
Definitely.
little puppy, and so we said, sure. Reggie's adorable. He's a little black pit bull mix something. He's darling. Gandalf, Saraman, Zenitsu, Chesney, Ruckus, and Ruckus will quit. So all of those, they all came from Kansas, Wichita area.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes. And for some reason, Gandalf, Start over.
Saruman? What
So
is this?
Gandalf, I don't know how
Who
to
named
even
these
say-
kids?
Barbie.
Oh,
So
okay. She gets
Gandalf-
a pass.
So Gandalf and Saruman, we got in. They both look like they have beards. They're like wizards.
Got it.
And so that's how they got those names. Apparently,
Oh, is that Harry
Saruman.
Potter?
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's something. Saruman,
We don't have time to watch movies.
We don't. Saruman or Saraman or whatever he is, apparently is like
Yes, it is. No, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. He's a wizard. Okay, that's where that name came from.
Oh, we're going to get some shit for this, aren't we? Go ahead.
We don't know anything. I didn't even know how to say it. They spelled it wrong at the vet when I told them what it was. They put an F instead of an S. Probably my voice. And then Zenitsu and Chesney, they all looked like they were related. It was 4 dogs I got in all in one day, and none of them were related, but they were all like white with light tan markings. Very funny. They're very cute. Ruckus is a boxer who actually came out of the Calhoun County canine shelter and then was in the correctional facility, but didn't do well there because he didn't like when the guards came to check on him. He was adopted out to a family who really cared about him a lot, and the 18-year-old son was walking him, and Ruckus broke the leash. And Ruckus is a little bit of a leash aggression, could have used a little more training, can continue to use a little more training, but ran up and scared a lady. Didn't bite her. No, just
Didn't
scared
break,
her.
right.
And she reported it to the owner of the house where these people were living because they were renting. And they gave him 1 week to get rid of the dog. So,
Nice.
of course, we're taking him back. So he's coming back to me tomorrow. And then, of course, Shorty, the fat ween. So we did have one that I think we should talk about just because we talk a lot about like the wins in rescue, but this was a big loss for us. We had tagged, and that's what they call when you see a dog in a shelter who is set to the euthanasia list.
I tagged this one.
Yeah.
'Cause she was so stinking cute.
She looked like a Faline Papillon, which is like this like little floppy ear, like beautiful.
She was, but she had these long legs. She was so adorable.
She was supposed to be transported to us weeks ago.
She was tagged and on the boat.
We had her tagged on the boat for 3-4 weeks, and she got kennel cough. And when they have kennel cough, they don't let them leave.
Which I'm calling bullshit on that. I don't believe it.
I don't either. But when they say they have kennel cough, they don't let them transport. Kennel cough is a cold. Like,
kennel cough is contagious.
Sure.
It's very treatable.
It's a cold.
But if you have a rescue that knows this and still tags the dog and still has a foster home for it, and the foster home knows it and they're okay with it and they're willing to
and the transporter is okay
and the
with
transporter, like everybody has signed off on this.
Who cares?
Why are you holding this dog
in a
shelter?
In a shelter, further exposing whatever else.
All the other dogs, which is why you have kennel cough in the first place.
Because you got to get them out. And this dog did not have kennel cough when we tagged her, but she came down with it after a couple days. And anyhow, they are a very high kill shelter. I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but it's in the Kansas area. And there's politics. There's so many politics. And it's not just them. There are politics in the rescue world in general. And we got to be careful.
Kara and I have committed ourselves, and Oh My Dog is committed to keeping Oh My Dog drama free and politics free. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're about. We're not going to tolerate it.
No.
We're here for the dogs. They're number one priority every single time. If I ever have a judgment call I need to make, this foster or that foster or this adoption or, should we tag this dog? Should we relinquish this dog? Whatever it is.
What's our only rule?
It's about the dog.
Yeah.
Dog's number one. So, I'm sorry if your feelings got hurt. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. But what happened to who we had named Serona, who her potential foster, who was waiting for her.
And followed up multiple times asking about her.
We followed up. Our contacts there followed up. Serona, she was euthanized without informing us at all. For no other reason than space. And she was tagged and she had a place to go.
Have you ever seen a dog die from kennel cough?
No.
Have you ever heard of a dog dying from kennel cough?
Maybe if they were old and had another issue.
She was not old at all.
She was young and fine.
Less than a year old.
No.
I've never heard
all
of
my dogs had kennel cough, and I have 2 older ones, and ours were vaccinated, and so it was we still had it though, you can still get it.
Yeah.
And it was not a horrible deal. There was that bout of kennel cough that happened this fall or winter that was kind of nasty, and people got worried about it. And there were a few dogs.
Term.
It wasn't necessarily kennel cough. It was a next step up. It was dog flu. So that happened. But kennel cough as a whole, very prevalent.
Right.
No big deal.
And there's not necessarily a treatment for it. It's really just got to run its
let it
course.
roll. If it gets bad, you can try antibiotics, but it's not going to help. It's just a cold.
Yeah, for me, it was the not. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and make up a story that I can live with in my head. that she was sick or she got really sick and euthanasia was the best,
Yeah.
humane thing to do for her. But I just can't see it. And what did me in was that they didn't call
Nobody
or tell
told
us. It would had we never followed up on her again, we would have never known.
No.
And we followed up on her
All the time.
at least 3 times that I
Yeah.
know of.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
So,
that shit just pisses me off.
it's annoying. Like, we had the resources, we had the spot for her, we wanted to save this dog. We tried everything we knew to save this dog, and it doesn't matter. She got killed anyway. Like, that stinks. And I know that the people that are working in a shelter like that has a high euthanasia rate are probably like hating their lives and like having like working. I couldn't do it, but still, some sort of processes need to change to like stop that from happening.
If you think about that, there are people that's their job. There has to be. I mean, there has to be at least 2 people there to do it, right?
Yeah.
One to hold the dog and one to inject it.
And there's just dogs that.
Can you imagine if that was your job?
No.
All day, every day?
No.
Or one day a week even?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, I mean, veterinarians have one of the highest suicide rates of any profession, and a lot of that has to do with that, first of all, the shit of humanity that they see.
Right.
And second of all, having to deal with so much death of creatures that they care so fiercely about. And those are people who are doing this as a profession, and they're euthanizing in an appropriate manner. Like, people that are just having to euthanize for space in a shelter because other humans are garbage and they throw their dogs away like trash. Like, that's got to be a bad job. Wouldn't want it.
Can't do it.
No. So anyway, those are our intakes and our one sad almost intake that we really did try hard to save.
But not to beat a dead horse here, but that just makes it even worse. Like, if I'm sitting here having to euthanize this dog and the dog has somewhere to go, like, you're gonna make me do that, knowing that there's somewhere that this dog can go. Like, that's cruel.
Certainly, they don't know that the person that's holding the needle or whatever. I don't even know. It's yucky.
That's terrible. Anyway, okay, on to happier things. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
Well, one of my happiest adoptions thus far has happened today.
No.
One day shy of her first birthday, Siri was adopted. And if you actually are listening to all of these episodes, then
Is anybody out there?
They are. You remember Holly saying, "Who's that recess guy at Paws and Pints?" And which I thought was hilarious. Max thought was hilarious, but Max is the recess guy. He works at Paws and Pines. He is the grounds manager there and is an amazing friend of all dogs. And he adopted a dog from us. I can't believe I finally broke one out there. And we got him to adopt Siri, who we have to be careful saying because then all of our phones go off and try and ask us what we want. But she may have a different name soon. I don't know. But she's a little border collie mix, and she's darling, and she's going to just absolutely thrive. So we're jazzed. And then, of course, Morty got adopted.
Well, that was the biggest win of the year.
For real. Delilah was a foster fail. Delilah was the mama of the Aussies, which we still have 2 puppies left. I anticipate by the time this comes out, they'll probably have homes. But Delilah was a little Australian Shepherd, and one of our foster homes has really been looking for a dog that's just like her. And she said, "Hey, when the puppies are weaning, like, could maybe she come here?" And I'm like, "Yup, she ain't gonna leave either. I can tell." And they love her. She's wonderful. So, and then speaking of puppies, 2 of the puppies also have homes committed to them, and that's Ahaska. I don't know
what that is.
These are
Asaka. This is the Star Wars ones.
Ahsoka. Star Wars name, and Obi-Wan, I know that. Those 2 were adopted. Little Squirt, who we talked about before with the big old bug eyes that Emily was fostering, got adopted. Sloopy, the doodle, was adopted, of course. And Yennefer, who was Siri's sister.
This is one of my more favorite ones. She was a border collie mix.
Yes.
And we had just got her and you posted her, and one of my contacts in Madrid messaged me and was like, "Hey, we're just casually looking for a dog. Just wanted to let you know P.S. Yennefer's pretty cute. And I was like, well, she's supposed to be coming to Matter to be fostered, so that'll
What do you
actually
think?
work out. Anyway, I worked with this guy on a case back when we were with Fluffy Butts, Dina, who was her mom was home. They were homeless. She was
Okay.
living in her car, and then she was staying at the YSS shelter, and they don't allow dogs in there. Figure that out. Anyway, so he works with that program, and so that's how I just love how all of this works out.
It's
And
a
now
long
he's
game.
adopted
We
this-
play
yeah, it
a
is a
real
long
long game.
Yep. So
Yeah.
she is a catch, and I was at
Both of them
that-
are. They're really cute.
I was at that bowling tournament on Saturday, and Ben's wife, the people that adopted her, her sister or sister-in-law, whatever. Anyway, cousin, second, twice removed, said that they are just in love and over the moon, and how she's
darling.
so sweet. And
Well, they're both very snuggly dogs, and they're the perfect size.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was young.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like
yeah.
Destiny-
They turn 1
Destiny-
year tomorrow.
Yeah, 1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So they got lucky with that one.
They did. And then yeah, that's Beulah, I think.
No, we gotta take that off. She was pending, but she has the people that went and seen her on Sunday decided not to.
Oh.
Decided not to adopt her, but we have all these other applications.
So many people applied for that dog. I don't understand.
and they overlooked Morty this entire time. They missed out.
Weird. Weird. But I anticipate Beulah will go soon. But anyway, and then of course our Gumbo that went home. So
Yep.
anyway, that's what we've been up to.
Some old news to bring to the new news. As of tomorrow, what's happening with Norwalk?
Yeah, so our story about the Norwalk, which for us was the Indianola group of dogs that we got that we thought were from Indianola, but they drove them there from Norwalk.
Right, 10
And then
Chihuahuas.
Yeah. And then the 60 dogs and cats that were pulled out of a home in Norwalk. She has been charged with multiple accounts of animal neglect resulting in, severe, death.
As she should.
Yeah. So they have, I today looked up on Iowa courts, and they have done the discovery hearing, and they are now preparing for the pretrial conference, which is tomorrow, which is the motion to waive a speedy trial. She pled not guilty.
Of course she did.
So,
Do you recall how many counts it was?
it was like 9, but I think there was 60 dogs. I don't remember how many exact counts, but I think it was like the deaths and the ones that were like very, very sick were like the ones that were counted towards. But like the list was like this long. I wasn't sure how to read it on Iowa courts. I didn't want to say like number of counts just by counting the things,
right.
But I don't know how many exact counts she got, but it's several. So
I'm sure she'll get off with a
Well, we're gonna
$50 fine.
honestly, we're going to stay on this because I would like to shed a light on if she gets off lately. And if she gets off, or if she gets charged with like the fullest extent of the law, I'm going to highlight that too because it's not enough. It's not. So anyway, I keep checking in because
Well, yeah.
why not? I
wanna
want to
know
know.
what
I want to know what happens. So anyway, our
Speaking of rap sheets and criminal charges,
no, we have to talk about our tale of the. No, we don't. We've really just filled up our whole time
We
here
did.
today.
I know.
We'll save that for another time.
Works for me.
Okay. Well,
That tea will simmer.
that tea will simmer. We have another story to tell you. It's not happening today. We've just chatted too long. But on our upcoming...
Do you want me to tee you up again?
No.
Okay.
On our upcoming toy episode, I'm ready.
Okay.
Episode 5.5, which is prison pups. We talk about...
Prison Pup Podcast.
We talk about dogs that have gone to the prison for training. But, sometimes society really just stacks itself against certain Dogs.
Why did the dog go to jail?
There's lots of reasons that dogs can go to jail. There's a lot of them.
List the charges.
And I would say that probably like the most popular way that dogs go to prison is for fleeing the scene. Or, I don't know if you've ever been downtown, you park at the wrong time, but if they don't pay their barking ticket, a dog will get taken right to prison. And the other reason, of course, is possession.
Do you think they put him in
It's 9/10 of the law.
gen population? Population?
Only after so long.
Oh my God. That was bad.
Anyway, all of those horrible jokes to say that upcoming we have an episode all about dogs being trained in Iowa's prison programs, why it's so great, and why we're really excited about it. And we had a couple of really special guests come to chat with us about that. And so you can look up for that in 1 week from this episode.
Now, we do need to wrap this up, but I refuse to do so until we do our featured foster. Very incredible.
Yes.
A foster of ours who's been with us from the very, 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 very
The
beginning.
first day.
She was in the first group chat.
Yes.
From day one, she's been with us, and she fostered even well before then.
Yes.
As well.
So this person has been fostering for 7 years in total, as of January. So I don't know what her date is. It might be 8 years by now, but 7 to 8 years. And I met her because of a fat wiener. Yes, that's
With
right.
a terrible name.
Stop it. So I got this.
The worst name you have ever had, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
I've said that before.
I didn't want to change his name because I say this all the time that like dogs don't know their names, blah, 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 blah. But this dog, like, if you said his name, he was like, well, I'm like, oh, okay, fine, buddy. You've had it hard enough. A hard knock fat wiener life he's had. And so his name was Rocco, okay? But I couldn't just let myself name a dog Rocco because that's too basic. So I was like, okay, what like weird like combination of words could I put together that like make the word Rocco but aren't Rocco? So I named him Roccow. And it was just literally the word rock and cow.
It was so confusing.
And no one got it.
Chris and I hated you for that one.
I know. I was berated for that name, Rock Cow. But
so dumb.
But anyway, so Kelly got on Pet Finder and
Kelly Neal,
that is our featured foster, and she got on Pet Finder back in the day. She saw Rock Cow and she was not afraid of his horrible name, and she applied. And at this point,
did she keep the name?
She did, but she went back to the original spelling, which I don't understand. But
really,
his name's still Rocco.
Oh,
but my husband and I had become so attached to this dog, and he said that if this person isn't perfect, we're keeping him. And that was the first time up until that point that he had ever been involved in an adoption. And he came along, he rode all the way to Ankeny, which is a very far trip, we saw her, we met her other two weens, and she wanted to have a triple ween situation at home, which can't blame a gal. Sounds like a lot to manage to me, but she likes it. And those are the happiest, I know it.
I have so many good comebacks right now.
I know, it's fine. This is a PG publication.
Sorry, Dad.
But she's had two other wiener dogs, and then Rocco, who, when we walked through the door, Marcus looked at me and he was like,
okay,
yeah.
this will work.
Like there's nobody better. And ever since then, we've stayed in touch. And I have lightly talked to her about like, hey, Holly and I have been talking about starting a rescue. And she goes, you tell me. I'm ready to raise my hand. I want to foster. I'm ready to roll. Let's go. So right after we started and we got that big group of dogs from Perry, she raised her hand and she was with us every step of the way. She's helped us with, saying, hey, what if you did this? Or here's the questions I've had.
Yeah, she has good suggestions.
She has really
and
great.
And she's very diligent. Like, her shit is squared away.
It is. She calls herself the ultimate potty trainer, and she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the contract, you get the check, you get all the paperwork.
And she adopted from us one of her fosters from Oh My Dog. She ended up foster failing, which I couldn't believe because
my God.
she is very like
She's never failed.
she never fails. First time failing after 7 years.
She took it gracefully. She did.
She did. She was like, well, it is what it is. And she kept Pippin, which actually we need to ask her if she kept his name as Pippin, but I think she did. I named
Why wouldn't you?
his name was Pippin because I picked out Rodman, Pippin, and then we had a Luke Longley, and we had, I had the whole Bulls team.
Oh, God. Tried to see if she posted it.
I think she said Pippin. I think she kept the name.
She said, January 28th, it took me 7 years, but I finally failed. Pippin was meant to be here. My pups approve, and I think it's Kiari, her granddaughter, which is the love of her life.
The cutest. It looks like a tiny her, first of all. Second of all, I'm not going to try and pronounce her name because I am not allowed to do that anymore.
The deciding moment happened when said grandchild carried him into her playhouse yesterday. He'll be here to welcome and nurture future fosters. So love that as well.
Yeah.
If you ever foster fail with us, that does not get you out of the fostering game. Just
No.
FYI, and I'm watching all of you.
Right. So like Ginny, when they adopted Delilah, who they've changed her name to Maya, I think, something maybe, I don't know. But when they adopted her, I said, that's fine. First of all, you have to fill out an application because that's how I keep track of everything. And second of all, you have to keep fostering. And as long as you agree to those two things, then it's over. You can take her. Same deal. Kelly has always stepped up.
I mean, look at this dog. Look at this underbite. I'm going to show it to the camera. I don't know if they can see it.
I'll post the picture. Save that so I can post it on our Instagram.
He has this underbite that's like...
It looks like he had braces but didn't wear his retainer.
He's so stinking cute, though. But I was surprised it wasn't a wiener.
It wasn't a wiener. He was wiener-y, but not wiener.
He's adorable.
He's very cute. He's like a Chihuahua mix. What did he come from? Was Pippin Rodman? He was with one of the 10 from Indianola.
Yes, he was.
But he was in really good shape compared to some of the others. But that was one of the Indianola 10 Chihuahua mixes. And he's just a little super mutt, and they fell in love. But Kelly is one of those fosters who, when she gets a dog, I know she's going to do her due diligence. She's going to tell me that the home that it goes to is exactly right. She checks the HOA laws with where you're adopting. I'm here to say I have never checked an HOA law in my life because I don't believe in that.
She's very thorough.
She's very thorough, but in the very best way. And none of her dogs, they land where they're going to land, and she does a really good job.
And I don't think she's had any returns.
She's had no returns from us. No.
No. That little white and red one, I thought. That was returned from somebody else, and she took it.
Then she took it.
Very
diligent.
Anyway, I love Kelly, and she's always been there for us.
She has.
And her humor comes across in the group chats, and that was very helpful for me.
Yeah, she's been wonderful. And again, from the very, very, very first day, our very first big rescue, she was there and ready and waiting, all because of that horribly named fat wiener.
God. We appreciate. Oh, and she was the only foster that sent me, anyway, a Christmas gift. She sent me this lovely...
Oh, yeah, I got a candle.
The dog fart extinguisher.
Candle. I got one of those, too. That was cute. Yeah, what the heck?
Loved it.
We don't do anything for you but, saddle you with dogs, so I don't know why we would expect a gift, but it was really nice. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, well, we are running out of time, but I have finally talked some people who are listening into writing in about their heart dog stories. So we have a heart dog tale from our last time featured foster.
They were our last ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember. This 2 weeks ago. I can't remember what I did 2 hours ago.
I hope it's correct because I felt like we got it right away after last time, and if not, it's because of my horrible memory, and it is what it is. But so our featured fosters last time, I believe, were Tracy and Johnny Story, and Johnny thinks it's really cute to use his last name Story in his story, even though it's not spelled the same way. So every time I say that, just know that it's spelled like how his last name is spelled, which is not quite the way an actual story tale is.
And Tracy just launched her first podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
I
The
just-
Poison Tea Party.
Best
I'm going to
name.
plug her. I don't care.
It's a
They've
awesome
been working
name.
on this forever.
They
and
have-
it is. So you can, they're on Spotify.
Okay. I
I
gotta
know that.
listen. I forgot I was gonna write that down, and if I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. But I have got to listen, and I'll give my 2 cents next time because
And
we gotta.
why don't you put the link to it in
Yes,
the
I will.
show notes?
Yeah, we'll put it in the show
Yeah.
notes. The link to Poison Tea Party, the podcast. Very first episode just came out.
Yep. And they release every other Thursday. So you can listen to them on Thursday and then us on Friday.
Beautiful.
Anyway.
So anyway, Johnny wrote in about his hurt dog, and actually Tracy did too, and they're not the same dog. So this week we're going to talk about Johnny.
Okay.
And next time we'll talk about Tracy. But he said he just watched the last podcast. They are the YouTube people that actually watch this, so that's cool.
I get a lot of people that would rather watch it on YouTube.
Most
I
of
don't
people
get
do.
it,
It's
but
odd. We're not doing anything cool at all. I don't even have a dog this time. I don't even know. But
I should bring Reese in here.
I know.
But we always go have cocktails before. And
We got to call ahead and ask if they'll let us take a dog in the corner in that place.
Yeah. All right.
So anyhow, he felt called out because we knew he had a hurt dog story and he wasn't sharing it. So he took some time to write it up. So basically he had always grown up with little dogs, but
Mainly Boston Terriers.
he knew that him and his daughter wanted to have a dog.
Yep.
And so they went to the ARL.
They adopted Maggie, who is a pit bull or pit bull mix.
Yep. But when he met her, he knew he loved her, but there was a bunch of people in front of him in
Yeah.
line. But something
In
happened.
line of applications.
Like 6 other people. And so
Wish
something
that would happen here, like with Morty.
Morty couldn't have handled that number of choices. So he
Yeah, but somehow he got to the top of the list.
well, we know how that happens because
Yeah.
people flake and fall off and all this crap happens. So
Which, side note, caveat, we do not look at applications in the order that they come in.
never.
It is by the best fit.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Unless the first application seems like a great fit.
Well, obviously, but it's not by, we don't go
Yes.
down the line.
Right.
Just FYI.
So the ARL, I think, typically does go down the line.
Do
I don't know.
No.
6.
No,
If there were 6 applications
Good for them.
above Johnny.
we don't.
Anyway, he works nights. He got off and found out that he was now first in line. And so he ran to the store, got all of this stuff, and
Went straight there. From
Picture
where
up.
it got off at 6 and went straight
Yeah.
there.
And so he is someone that is very much not like me. I love to do things after thinking about them for about 30 to 45 seconds. I have never in my life thought about anything I have ever done. Like, they're like, oh, what do your tattoos mean?
It just works out.
I don't know. I have a beer mug tattooed on me, I think. I don't care.
About to have an OMD tattooed on you, too.
That's right. I got spots.
Tara wanted to know where you were going to put it. She said there's no room left.
Yeah, no, right
Yeah,
here.
We'll find it.
That's a good spot right there. I got spots. Anyway, I've never thought about anything. He says he researched and was looking for months, and he knew that there was a dog that needed him. And the moment he met Maggie, he knew that that was the dog.
They got her home. First day she was home with us, we played in the yard for hours. His mom thought that this dog might attack him. She was a little worried about
Scary
him attacking
looking.
him.
Yeah, she was a little.
Well, that's all stereotype, though.
Yeah, it is.
When it was time for bed, it was him, his daughter, and Maggie. And again, his mother was asking, "You're going to let that dog sleep in bed with you?" I looked down at the bed, and there was Maggie and Audrey cuddling each other, sawing logs together. And I told her it looks like they already made that choice for me.
At this point during the story, I was probably a cocktail or 3 in, and I'm like, well, I started crying, and I have not
jeez.
read.
You big old softy.
I'm not really usually, but after like a vodka or 7, I might be. But I was like, oh my lord, that's so cute. I think for me, it was the like dad with the daughter, and then that it was a pit bull,
Right.
And that the pit bull is the
Jerry.
they're just, and it's the babysitter breed.
They are doing a lot of work on this stereotype, busting this myth.
Yeah, because it's BS. So he used to like to go out to the gravel pit and throw rocks, and apparently she chased the rocks. I hope she never ate one. She apparently didn't, but
That's Natasha's dogs.
oh yeah, that's right.
She was
Some
our
dogs like
baby.
rocks. Apparently this one just liked to chase where they went thrown to.
She was our baby, and she knew it and abused it. She never ran away, never turned down a chance for lovin's, and there was even when you didn't know you needed it or wanted it.
Yes, they know when you need
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So
Then he must have met Tracy.
he met Tracy at this point. He already
Best
had
decision
Maggie.
of his life.
Best choice ever.
He's got two good choices going on here.
Yeah, and Cardi B,
Cardi
as
B.
you know,
Another
again,
ween.
if you listen, another ween. Maggie was like, "Yeah, Cardi, I got you, honey." What's that called? Like if you're like a stripper and you have like another stripper that like comes around and like is like, "I'm gonna take care of you," because Cardi B was a stripper.
I don't know
what I'm talking about?
anything about strippers. I'm sorry.
You
what?
obviously like your father too much. A stripper that well, I don't know. There's like it's like a madam or whatever. It's like it was like her madam.
I got you.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
You know.
Like her female pimp.
Yeah, it's not a pimp. She's not pimping her out. She's just taking care of her.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know. It was her.
What do you want me to Google here?
This is something I've only seen in a fictional show, so I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
Anyway, Maggie took Cardi B under her wing, and Cardi is so sassy, and Maggie did not care. She would just back up whatever she said.
Old Mags was not only was the best dog I've ever had or met, but she was my best friend and taught me a lot over our year together. Patience, learning to enjoy the small things in life like rocks, playing until we can't anymore, don't sweat the small things, every dog deserves a chance, and so much more. Mm-hmm. Maggie didn't just teach me, but she taught and showed a lot of people and dogs things that they can carry on in life with them. She taught people like my mom and some coworkers that not all big dogs, especially pit bulls, are bad or mean, and other dogs' boundaries, and that there is a time and place for playtime and chill time.
Yeah, so this dog really understood, like, if a dog said, "Hey, I need some space," okay, cool. I'm just
Well, not to mention she
Madam Dogga.
Here's where you come in too. She helped show my daughter the love she has for animals, and she taught you how to get your spot in bed with the blankets and pillows before she could.
There's something to be said about raising children around animals. I
Yeah.
think it's very important. I really
Teaches
do.
them a lot of empathy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So Maggie had a very, sad. It was very sad. She did pass away, and she has been just loved every moment from the moment that she walked through their door until this day. And so that's what a heart dog is, people. That's a dog that like walks into your life and you're like, I had no idea I even needed this particular dog until I saw it, and then your whole life has changed, and their whole life has changed. I don't
Yeah.
think if he had adopted Maggie that they may have understood their need to help dogs moving forward.
Well, he wraps up his story saying, Maggie is a huge reason we foster. We foster in her name. She helped me especially see that there are amazing dogs people overlook or don't give the time of day because of a breed. She showed me that there are other amazing pups like her that need a chance, and our family is the one to give them that chance. Whenever we get someone to come see a foster or adopt one of our fosters, they get the Maggie talk. How and why we choose to foster. Well, thank you. That I'm not gonna cry.
You're thinking about it.
Allergies. Thank you for sending a story. Finally.
Yeah, yay. So now you know. That's a heart dog story right there. Like that's legit.
Yeah.
Like that dog changed lives, and it has changed lives of people and dogs and the people that she lived with and others. So that's incredible.
Well, maybe I'll submit my heart story
I wish you
about
would.
Jax.
Yeah, that whine ass.
All right.
Yeah, we're really gonna talk about something else, but now we have to wait, and you're gonna have to tune in again because we
didn't plan
chattered
this.
too long.
We really didn't plan this. I thought we would have a hard time filling up.
You know we're never gonna have a
hour.
hard time filling up an hour. But anyway, please come back. We've got lots more doggy gossip, doggy learning, all of the things.
And hopefully we'll have an update. Well, we won't have it for the next episode because we've already recorded it. But
Yeah.
an update on the Norwalk situation.
Yes.
Hopefully by the time we record next, she'll be sitting in jail
Yeah. So we're
for a
recording.
good long while.
Just so you know, we don't wear the same outfit 2 weeks in a row. We are just recording 2 episodes at a time. I thought about that. Maybe we should have an outfit change and try and like have a ruse to
Oh
the
my
public.
God, no.
But you should know that if we have a delay in what
You
we're
want me to
talking
change
about,
out of this Oh My Dog shirt into another Oh My Dog shirt because that's literally all I have.
I did wear my tie-dye Oh My Dog shirt today, but I got all sweaty when I ran home cleaning up after the dogs. I had to change my clothes. So, but normally that's all I wear.
We do have t-shirts and tank tops left if anybody needs one or
We
wants
do.
one.
And I found out that the last place we had, we did have those tie-dye dog shirts for sale. You can continue to buy them. They don't have a
Oh.
minimum. So
like
that
the
link.
other custom ink does.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So it's called Bonfire, and it has an ongoing campaign for us. And so anytime you want a tie-dye dog shirt, you can go on and purchase. I will post that link also in our show notes, and it's also going to be posted again on our website now that I found out that it just kind of lasts forever. So you can just go in and buy a shirt, and we do get a portion of the proceeds, and you have an opportunity to donate there. So
Be on the lookout for more merch coming. We've got some ideas.
yeah.
I want a crossbody. To finish this up, sorry, we've said that. We're doing the Midwest goodbye. Seriously.
Well, it's already happened to me.
In a podcast format. Okay. I do want to put out there that our Amazon wish list is out there. There are some items that we need.
Yes.
Particularly canned dog food.
Yeah.
I'll take any dog food, honestly, though. So they're on our list. There's a few other things on there, but really our biggest thing right now is dog food. We used to get donations, and those have kind of dried up. So
Yeah.
if you feel the desire to
Yeah, if you go to
donate.
ohmydogrescue.org or .com or all of the things, I bought all the domains. You can
Yep.
get there. You're not going to miss us. There is a donate page, and there is a link to our Chewy and to our Amazon wish list.
Yep.
So thank you all for supporting what we're doing. We have
the canned food is good for after dentals because
there, yeah.
you know a lot
And
of
we
our
get
dogs
a lot
lose
of
a lot of teeth, or their little gums
get
are sore.
The old, we like those old crusty musties, and they always lose all their teeth. And they're hungry. So, and I don't cook. So they've got to eat something. and
We're gonna
it's
send
canned.
Kara out to the corner. I'll be your madam.
Well, if things really fall apart, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.
Oh my dog.
What I mean when I see what I feel, when I dream, when I